There are days we look at ourselves in the mirror and suddenly wonder, am I beautiful enough? Interesting enough? Attractive enough for someone to want to stay? And then we smile to ourselves, trying to hide that little bit of fragility inside, trying to appear strong as if nothing in this world could ever shake us. But you know, every woman has her own story, her own journey, her own quiet battles that words can barely describe. Today, I want to share with you a story not about perfection, but about the journey of becoming an attractive woman in a way that is personal, real, and deeply human. And if this is your first time here, welcome to Streams of Love, a place where we listen, understand, and learn to love ourselves a little more each day. So gently take a seat, relax your shoulders, and let me share with you as if we were two friends sitting together on a peaceful afternoon. 1. Confidence, the beginning of all attraction. One morning, she found herself standing in front of the mirror longer than usual. Her hand gently touched her own face, then slowly dropped as she let out the faintest sigh. Her mind was filled with quiet, insecure questions. Am I beautiful enough? Will anyone ever truly see my worth? She felt imperfect. And she carried that belief for a long time, until one day, her close friend looked straight into her eyes and said softly, "You don't need to be perfect. You just need to believe in yourself." Those words felt like a gentle tap on her heart. Not loud, not dramatic, but enough to wake something inside her. From that day on, she tried to change little things, lifting her chin just a bit higher, standing up a little straighter, smiling at herself in the mirror, even if only for a few seconds. And strangely, the more she believed in herself, the brighter she became. People started noticing her not because she suddenly became unusually beautiful, but because she carried a light uniquely her own. A light called believing in her own worth. 2. Independence, the energy no one can ignore. There was a period in her life when she realized she had been waiting far too much. Waiting for someone to be free so they could eat together. Waiting for someone's approval before buying something she liked. Waiting for someone to walk into her life and stay. And then one day, she asked herself, why am I waiting? So she started with something small. She took herself out for dinner. At first she felt shy, a little awkward, but soon she discovered how comforting it was to choose exactly what she wanted and quietly enjoy her own company. Then she began buying the things that made her happy without needing anyone's permission. She made her own plans, decided her own path, and took responsibility for her choices. Not because she was naturally strong, but because she wanted to become a stronger version of herself. And the most surprising thing was, the more independent she became, the more she carried a certain kind of energy, the kind that made people turn their heads. It wasn't loud, it wasn't showy, it was simply a beautiful, captivating freedom. People started noticing her, wanting to move closer to her, because something in her eyes, in the way she lived, made them feel like she doesn't need anyone to be happy. And that is exactly why so many people wanted to be part of her life. A woman who walks confidently on her own 2 feet always possesses a magnetic pull no one can ignore. 3. Self-care. Not to look beautiful for others, but for yourself. There were days when life pulled her along too fast. She worked until she forgot to eat. At night, she tossed and turned until she forgot she needed sleep. And then one morning, as she looked into the mirror, she startled at her own reflection, pale skin, tired eyes, dark circles as if she had been carrying the whole world on her shoulders. In that moment, a quiet question arose in her heart. If I don't love myself, then who will do it for me? From that single question, she began to change, not through big decisions, but through the smallest habits. She drank more water because her body needed nourishment. She practiced yoga to reconnect with her breath and with herself. She went to bed early, giving her heart a chance to rest after long days. She took evening walks just to let her mind breathe. She applied face masks, a gentle apology to the skin she had neglected for too long. And slowly, she changed, not into someone else, but into a softer, calmer version of herself. One day, she looked at her reflection again and realized she was glowing. Not the kind of brightness meant to impress anyone, but a quiet, tender light, the kind that others can't seem to look away from. It was the light of a woman who takes care of herself, who loves herself properly. A beauty that doesn't need to be shown off, because it naturally touches the hearts of others. 4. Naturalness, the most irresistible form of allure. There was a long period in her life when she tried so hard to become the perfect version everyone expected. She practiced speaking gently, measuring every word. She behaved according to the standards society set for a pleasant woman. She chased after trending outfits, even when some of them didn't suit her at all. But the more she tried, the more exhausted she became, as if she was living inside someone else's shell, not her own skin. Until one day, not a special day, not a turning point, just an ordinary, peaceful morning. She chose to wear her favorite oversized hoodie, tied her hair up in a simple bun, went to her usual cafe, ordered a warm drink, and opened the book she hadn't finished. No elaborate makeup, no effort to look charming, no acting, no forcing, no trying, just being herself. And then someone walking by paused, looked at her for a moment, and smiled. You're truly captivating when you're just being yourself. In that moment, it felt like someone had gently lifted a heavy layer off her shoulders. She smiled a soft, genuine smile that even surprised her. And she finally understood something important. It's not the perfect makeup, not the trendiest dress, not the version she tries so hard to become. It is her natural self, her comfort in her own skin that is the most sensual, the most alluring. A kind of beauty that doesn't need to be performed, yet still makes people turn their heads. Being natural is the most beautiful form of sensuality. 5. Boundaries, the rules of a mature woman. There was a time when she tried so hard to please everyone. Whoever needed help, she showed up. Whatever someone asked, she said yes. And in the end, she was the one who felt most drained. Until life taught her a very expensive lesson. A truly mature woman is someone who has the courage to say no. So she began learning to set boundaries for herself. Whoever lacked respect, she stepped away. Whoever only appeared for their own benefit, she stopped giving. Whoever tried to control or impose, she gently closed the door. It wasn't that she became cold. It was simply that she finally learned to value herself properly. She no longer accepted half-hearted efforts, shallow affections, or relationships that wounded her spirit. And strangely enough, once she learned to keep her boundaries, others started respecting her more, because they realized she wasn't someone who would easily trade her worth for anyone. 6. Intelligence and communication, an irresistible kind of attraction. There was a phase in her life when she spent a lot of time on herself, reading books, traveling, exploring new things she had never paid attention to before. Not to appear smarter or better than anyone. She simply wanted to become a little more mature, a little more insightful with each passing day. And surprisingly, it was this quiet authenticity that drew people toward her. They noticed something in her that wasn't visible from the outside. A woman who knows how to listen, who knows how to ask meaningful questions, who knows how to speak with both her heart and her understanding. She realized that sometimes a deep, thoughtful, natural conversation can be more captivating than the most glamorous evening gown, because the beauty of intelligence is something no one can duplicate and no one can resist. 7. Style, not to impress, but to express yourself. There was a moment when she looked into her closet and asked herself, am I wearing what I love or what others expect me to wear? Then, during a long trip, she discovered something beautifully simple. In the West, allure doesn't come from tight dresses or overly intricate outfits. It comes from being completely comfortable in your own skin. A white t-shirt, an old pair of jeans, simple sneakers. If they made her feel confident, then they were beautiful enough. She suddenly understood. Charm was never about the clothes. Outfits are only the tools. It's the energy, the way she walks, the way she smiles, that makes it impossible for others to look away. True style began the day she wore what she genuinely loved and stepped outside with a presence that belonged only to her. 8. Positive energy, the light that makes others want to stay close. There was a period when she realized her life had become too heavy, comparing, competing, feeling upset over the smallest things. And she asked herself, why did I let myself lose my own smile? So she began to change. Little by little, she practiced smiling more, speaking more gently, letting go of unnecessary battles of winning and losing. And most importantly, she stopped turning her life into a dramatic movie. She learned to enjoy the simplest things: a warm cup of coffee, a peaceful afternoon, a song that lightened her heart. From those simple moments, she began to radiate a soft, warm kind of energy. The kind of energy that makes people want to come closer, want to talk to her, want to stay just a little longer. Because a woman who carries her own light always has an irresistible charm. Conclusion. And then, after a long journey filled with stumbles, fragile days, and moments of awakening, she finally understood something very simple. You don't need to be the most beautiful woman in the room. You don't need to chase any standards or expectations the world places on you. You only need to be a little more confident, a little more independent, a little more loving toward yourself, and brave enough to live as your true self. That is enough. Because a woman's doesn't lie in perfect looks, it lies in the way she walks, the way she lives, and the beautiful energy she carries with her. As long as you are yourself whole, sincere, and free, you are already a captivating woman.